Welcome to this meeting. It's an extraordinary meeting of the Council, and it's being held because we will have one particular document that we need to address and reach a decision on. Thank you all for coming. We'll go straight into the agenda, and number one is apologies.
Thank you, Chair. I have apologies from the following members: Councillor Mannion, Councillor Zossida, Councillor Pout, Councillor Kenton, Councillor Back, Councillor Hill, Councillor Nee.
Thank you. Item 2 is declarations of interest. Do we have any declarations of interest? No, we have none. Thank you. And we go on to item 3, which is announcements. And I do have an announcement to make. It is with great sadness that we mark the passing of Councillor Ben Banno. Ben first served this council following his election in the March 1997 by-election, representing North Deal Ward, and later Mill Hill Ward until 2015. Throughout his time on the council, Ben made a significant contribution across a wide range of roles. He served as chairman of the Tourism and Economic Development Committee, held the position of cabinet member for regeneration, and later led the Labour group as leader of the opposition. He was also a committed member of numerous committees, including governance, scrutiny, and the Dover Joint Transportation Board. And he worked tirelessly to support regeneration, economic development and community well-being across the whole district. He will be remembered for his dedication to public service, his commitment to the people he represented, and his lasting contribution to this council and to the wider community, especially North Deal, which is the same ward as me, and he was very well known, very well loved in North Deal. Our thoughts are with his family, his friends, and all who knew him. Do we do Simon's name?
Do you want anybody to say anything?
Right. Is there anybody who'd like to speak at this time? Is that Councillor Mills?
Serving with Ben, not on town council, but the district council, and he was always somebody that I always found was, of same mind, which you can't always say in the council chamber, but also an exceptionally caring individual, caring not just to this district where he put a lot of time and effort in, but I remember also the work he's done with refugees in the district. I think that's the mark of the person when, he knew the difference between right and wrong and was prepared to stand up for it. So he'll be greatly missed, but the thoughts, as you say, Chair, with the family at this sad, sad time.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, Ben was a real asset to me when I first started in Deal Council, and all the different things he showed me what to do and how to move through things. The knowledge he had on everything on Transport 2020 will be real missed of the different things he helped out with, especially with the railway as well, keeping that in Deal and everything. I give my regards to his family, and he'll be a very missed person. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I've known Ben ever since I came to politics, which was about 6-7 years ago. And I've known him again as a person who always had the best interests in people. And like the leader said, he's not only known for his good work in the town of Deal, but also with refugees. And I know the refugees were good. He had such empathy and worked hard for these displaced people and the vulnerable people. We may not have agreed on every issue, but I know his prime motivation was compassion, and he did help me when I first came in of how councils work, and we served on the local calc committees, and he was also a great advice and help there. Again, my sympathies go to his family in these difficult times. Thank you, Chair.
I'll just finish off by saying possibly not many of you know that he also had a special interest in dementia care. He had for many years done training for staff working with dementia care specialties, and he used to go in particular and help people work on spirituality with patients and people living with dementia. So, he was a multi-talented man, and he will be missed in our communities, all of them. So I'd like to ask you to stand for a minute's silence, please. Thank you, everybody. We move to item 4, which is the adoption of the Affordable Housing Supplementary Planning Document.
Thank you, Chair. The Affordable Housing Supplementary Planning Document has been prepared to provide guidance in applying the requirements of the affordable housing policy set out in the adopted local plan, Policy SP5. The supplementary planning document seeks to maximise the delivery of affordable housing. It also looks to provide flexibility and clarity to assist development proposals. The supplementary planning document includes 10 guidance notes covering matters such as tenure mix, information requirements for applications, and how to calculate off-site contributions. The document has been informed by a targeted stakeholder consultation with developers, agents, and registered providers, and the draft document was then subject to a 4-week consultation. We received 20 representations in response to the consultation, and a summary of those comments are set out in the report and consultation statement. 8 respondents expressed in principle support for the document, and 3 of these were from stakeholders that engaged in earlier stages of the process and welcomed that their earlier comments were considered and called the SPD flexible and pragmatic. There were fundamental issues raised relating to 3 of the guidance notes on specialist housing schemes, the formula for calculating off-site contributions and deferred contributions. Substantive amendments have been made to address these comments. The adoption and revocation statements and other associated background documents are provided in the appendices. We also intend to publish a plain English summary and frequently asked questions document alongside the SPD. The recommendation is therefore that the SPD is adopted and the current SPDs and SPGs are revoked. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Usually I'd defer to the portfolio holder to kind of maybe open the statement here, but I wanted to, because the Chairman of Overview and Scrutiny is not here this evening, just make the point in my capacity as advice that we went through this in some detail several weeks ago, and are reassured that it's an extremely thorough piece of work. On my side of the chamber, very happy with it. I think the guidance that is in this document reflects policy that was developed through the local plan process while we were in administration, which was then adopted in the earliest months of the current administration. And so I'm hoping that we can all be largely in support of the principles and the changes that have been made. So I'm happy to move the recommendations as written out in the report.
Well, I'm more than happy to second it on the officer's way for scrutiny, but I understand there was a thorough discussion, and I thank the officers for their input at that scrutiny committee. I think this is an important document, although it's guidance, which never overtakes policy as such. But I can't believe there's anybody in this council. I'd find it hard to believe there's any councillor in the country who doesn't believe that the provision of affordable housing is a priority for councils, particularly when you look at the costs that we incur and the fact that we all know in society the difference putting the roof over someone's heads makes. So I'd just also like to put on record my thanks to the officers for the work that's been gone into to deliver this, the consultation, the transparency, all of it. So thanks very much to the officers for this, and I'm more than happy to second Councillor Vincent's proposal.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I'm really pleased to see that everybody in the chamber is really engaged in this. I know such hard work has been done on it. I also know it's a very technical document to get your head around it. I mean, I know in some of the comments that there was some criticism of that, but the necessity of this document, it is so technical. And I also recognise that the comments like the Dove Society talking about the lack of the affordable housing in the urban areas, but I think what's really encouraging is that so much work has been done. It's such a professional job, but actually identifying what I feel is one of the core issues is the viability aspect. And we've done everything we can in this document to make the most of supporting and directing what the local plan intended. But I still, for my mind, this gives us a good platform to look at why viability is such a problem in relation to development, where, you know, that was something that was put in 2012. And I know from this side, we will be using this document to pursue how we can change this to make, and as the leader says, to make, you know, roof over people's head. And we're very clear that our urban and our rural areas really suffer from not getting good affordable housing. And this document really gives us a basis to start understanding it, moving it forward, and making the argument to actually change what I consider a very bad decision in 2012, where S106 and developers are the primary area that applies for affordable housing, and we really need to change that. So I really welcome it. I think it's an excellent piece of work. I'm glad we got over the line. I know we were under a bit of a tight deadline to get this through with the changes relating to SPDs. So I really appreciate it, and I'm really encouraged by the whole chamber seems to be supporting it. So thank you.
So we don't have anyone else who wants to speak. So it's been moved and seconded that this is adopted, along with lots of congratulations to staff for the hard work. So can we vote now, please? Electronic vote. That's everybody except the absent councillors, is that right?
Yeah.
Universally carried. Thank you. Great deal of support. Thank you. And so we move on to item 5, urgent business time. I've not been alerted of any urgent business. So thank you again very much for coming. Please sign in if you've not had time to do that yet. And I close the meeting.